is my first YouTube live in a long time. Man, so about a year ago, I was lifting a motorcycle and injured my back. I ride motorcycles. I'm always around motorcycles. It's part of my life. That's what I do. And I enjoy it. I love riding motorcycles and being a part of the motorcycle community, and it's fun. But I hurt myself, and it happens. You know, we all make it through life, and we, we're hard on our bodies. Our bodies aren't meant to last very long. We kind of age past their expiration date anyhow. So I got some wear and tear on my body, but a year ago I had an acute injury that kind of placed me in a different column, man. I was riding my mountain bike also, almost daily, I would say. I loved riding my mountain bike just as much as I loved riding my motorcycle. So I live an active lifestyle, and I go to the gym like 3 nights a week too. Maybe it's overactive, I don't know. But it didn't seem like it. I just felt fit and good and healthy. And I really didn't have an idea of what chronic pain was. And it's very hard to understand what chronic pain is when you've never dealt with it. I was very judgmental on a lot of people that were going through that kind of thing and that kind of pain in their life. I thought, just exercise through it. Maybe if you were more fit, you wouldn't have so much pain. Even my own brother, who has dealt with chronic pain for a long time, I always tried to encourage him to do more. You got to fight through it, man. You got to work hard to try and stay healthy and be out of pain. And I really felt like that could be the thing. That could be what you do. You just exercise through it. Eat right. Do all the things that you're supposed to do. And over the last year, I've come to realize that sometimes you're just screwed. Sometimes you have a bad day. It's a pain day, Hey, good morning. Got some friends with me there. So sometimes you have a tough day. You have a shit day. I'm doing this video because I'm in a lot of pain today, and I got to get up. I got to go to work, and that's what we have to do sometimes. We just got to push through it. But it's been a long year. I've been, like a lot of people, I try and go and get help through, my medical, care. Right now I'm with Kaiser, but before I was with another, like Blue Shield or something. And, man, when you show up in pain at a hospital or a doctor's office, the people in the medical industry, they deal with people in pain all the time. And back pain is one of those things. It's like 70% of people are affected by back pain at some point in their life. I don't know what the statistics are. I shouldn't throw out numbers, but I think that's about it. It's probably more than that. Just 70% of people bitch about it. So, when you show up and you're just another person in pain, it's not a very personal experience, to them. It's just one more person complaining. And I get it, dude. Every job has its ins and outs. You probably start to lose a little compassion for those people that show up and are like, oh yeah, you're in pain. Oh yeah, so was the last guy, and the guy before him, and the guy before him, or the girl. And it's rough, you know. I don't need to be babied. And if I am gonna get babied, it's gonna be by my wife. And she gets the worst of me. She sees my struggle more than anyone else. I get to work and I usually just try and put on a happy face, but I'm in pain a lot. So I wanted to go through some of the things that I've tried. So what I have is bulging discs. Okay, this is really common. I'm 48 years old. I've lived an active life, and with these bulging discs, I think it's not just uh, between, or it's not just one disc. I actually have three, but I think there's one that is probably the majority of my pinched nerve or inflated nerve, uh, irritated nerve. I'm sorry, not inflated. Boy, inflated nerve. That'd be horrible. I've got this one section that's pretty bad, I think. So that is the general, like, sciatica, right? Sciatica, it's that nerve bundle or that nerve branch that goes down the legs. It can be right leg, left leg. For me, it's my left leg. Goes all the way down to my foot, and my foot has sensations that are kind of pins and needles, I guess. And then I deal with that, right? Like that's what my pain is stemming from. I think I first started by going to the hospital and letting them know, like, hey, I had some issues, and I think I've injured myself. It took months to get to an MRI that confirmed what was going on, but everybody kind of had an idea anyhow. It wasn't like this is something new. Via my symptoms, they were like, okay, yeah, you probably have a bulging disc into a nerve. But to confirm it took forever, just because the structure of our medical in this country. It's like, and because everyone's overwhelmed and everybody's in pain, it took forever for me to get an MRI. It started with x-rays, and then they sent me to get some physical therapy, which was too costly for me to actually partake in enough to make a difference, I'm guessing. But I used some of the techniques that they had offered and just carried that through myself to help stretch and exercise. And like I said, I am an active person, so I continue to work out, and I try and do things that don't irritate it, but at the same time, a little pushing beyond that and irritation, whatever. It is what it is. You just got to fight. So I tried the physical therapy, too costly, couldn't keep going. And my sprinklers just finally turned off. And then I finally got the MRI. It confirmed kind of what I thought I was going through. But, the MRI results or the analyzing of it, it doesn't really come with like exclamation points on it. And when you're reading it, you're like, okay, well, it just kind of says I have some bulging or maybe impingement or a restricted, I forget the jargon they used, but it was like kind of a restricted space. But it doesn't come with an exclamation point. So when I'm reading it, I'm like, I don't know. It's one of those things. So going beyond that, I've got these results that show I have issues. And finally, when I switched over to Kaiser, they're like, hey, you've got some issues. Let's try the cortisone shots or I don't know, steroid shots in your back. I think there's multiple different drugs they can put into there, into those areas to reduce the swelling. So I went for it because I'm desperate. I'd like to do anything to get it resolved. So I got the first shot, and during the first shot, they actually put me under, and they used some numbing stuff, locally. And man, that stuff made me feel great. I got out of there and I thought, boy, the shot really has done a number, and I think I'm gonna feel good. It lasted for like a day, day and a half, and then I was back to feeling horrible. Um, so I think after a week and a half, 2 weeks, I called that portion of the Kaiser. It's the pain management. And I told them, I said, man, look, I'm still in pain. I'm struggling, and I want to get back in there and consult. And it was like 2 3 months. No, I'm sorry, it was like 2 months, I think, before I was going to be able to get back in there for another shot, or to talk to him, even have a conversation. Because this guy's busy. These pain management specialists get hooked up, man. Everybody's in pain, and nobody wants to be in pain, right? So took a long time, and I finally, I was calling in and telling them like, hey, I'm in so much pain. I don't know how to cope with it. I don't know how to deal with it. Like, I not to like be a crybaby, but like thoughts of like ending your life kind of come up, man. That's a reality when you think I might be better off if I'm dead, and that's rough, dude. I'm not looking for sympathy or bullshit. This is just kind of where your mind goes when you're in intense pain. I've got a buddy who's watching right now that goes through pain and has dealt with a lot, and he copes with it rather well. All things considered, he goes through a lot, and I can appreciate what he's been through more now than before. Uh, so I call and I say, hey, I want something to take the edge off, and of course, that leads you to like, well, isn't there like a pill I can take? And because there's a big stigma about opiates, and we've already been down this road as a society now, and people have abused the opiates for decades, and now there's the fentanyl thing out there, which I think was what they gave me when they put the first steroid shot in my back. He said it under his breath too. He's like, oh, we're going to give you a fentanyl shot. And then, they put me under, gave me the shot. Man, that felt great. I don't need to feel that good. But dude, I don't want to live life at my pain level being a 7 or above. I want to live my life with a kind of a normal amount of pain. Pain's okay. I get it. Like, I don't need to feel perfect, but I don't need to feel this bad either. So when I call and I do that, I let the doctors know. I try and explain to them that I've seen the ill effects of abuse of painkillers, and I have, man. My ex-wife went down a road of innocent pain management, right? She had some teeth problems, and she started taking, I think it was Vicodin initially, and then to the Norco pills, and then eventually that stuff runs out, and so you start seeking alternatives because you do get used to not having pain, and so you want that gone. And I think that led her into the illicit drugs, non-prescription, use of uh, whatever she could get a hold of. And watching that happen was really rough. And seeing her mind drift and then her body drift, and then eventually she passed away through circumstantial kind of things. She was homeless and in a building that caught fire because she was trying to stay warm, I believe. I don't know. I don't know all the details, but it was local. It was right down the street from where I live, where it happened, and that was sad. That was a lot to go through. It's the mother of my first son, and it's tough to see that happen. But I got to see it happen and watch it happen, so I understand the reasoning behind doctors not wanting to prescribe medications that can lead you down that path. So with all that said, I still don't want to be in a level 7 of pain. I want to get up, feel effective. Like this morning, I had ambition in my heart, right? I wanted to get up and do some things around the house, and instead, I had to sit around for like an hour and a half. Everybody's asleep in my house, but an hour and a half just trying to get functional and mobile. I take an anti-inflammatory every morning. It's a meloxicam or Mobic. I think it's generic for Mobic. I take that every morning, and once that starts kicking in, I have a little bit of relief, and that's great. I'm so thankful for that pill. Like I said, it's just an anti-inflammatory, and it seems to do a pretty good job. It's an NSAID, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. So I take that, but dude, so all my ambition goes nowhere. All of a sudden, I'm just stuck, kind of waiting for the pain to subside. And that's tough, man. I'm so sick of it, and I really want to get to like some kind of resolution, but I don't know if there's a resolution to be had, and that's sad to me. I want to do good at work. I love my job. I work in a motorcycle shop, and it's so fun. I love the experiences I get there, and the people I get to work with, the people I get to be in contact with. We're all like-minded. We all love motorcycles, and that's fun. So I want to do good there. I want to enjoy life. I still got one more kid that I got to raise till he's 18, and beyond that, I want to be a grandpa someday that can enjoy time with his grandkids. I don't need to live forever. I'm okay with death. Death is okay. It comes to all of us, and that's okay. I can cross that path. But man, when I do, I want to be upright and feeling good. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I know that the potential for getting some kind of painkiller or opiate type prescription would help, and if I do that, if I get that, maybe what I'll do is I'll check in. I'll maybe via YouTube and some live videos, I'll check in with how I'm coping with that, how often I'm using it, and what the results are, and yeah, go from there. So that's my YouTube live for the morning. I think it's time to get to work, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, everybody. I don't actually know how to end this live. There's an X up there. All right. Well, I'm out of here. Take care.